All right, so it turns out Fred Warner's not going to play.
Yeah,
Good thing we
massive
did a
L
whole
on my part.
podcast.
Massive L on my part.
No, I'll rock with you. I was right with you. I was right with you.
Yeah, it was just the fact the thing that I hung on to too much was Warner saying, "Well, they said my window wouldn't be open, and now my window's open, and I'm just taking it day by day." And also the fact that it sounded like Warner was getting first team reps at practice. It wouldn't have made any sense to give Warner first team reps at practice if he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, L on my part. I apologize. I own it. It was a bad take by me, but
No, I think the evidence is fine. No, you stacked some evidence, you connected some dots. That's not the end of the world. And like I said, I was right there with you. I was tailing the take. I thought it made a lot of sense. I will say though, the first tweet I saw was from our guy Nick Wagner, our favorite cast member at ESPN, and it was like everybody participating in practice today except Fred Warner, who doesn't have a helmet. It's like, oh
no. Yep. Yeah. So I was at practice, and that was the first thing I saw was that Warner was just in the jersey and no helmet. And part of me was like, well, are they just like, all right, we're limiting the not even gamesmanship. Are they limiting, like, okay, we don't need to do back-to-back heavy days on the ankle if he's going to play Saturday. Right.
That
was my initial talk myself back into it. My initial thought. And then it was like, actually, it would be silly to completely just not practice. So it's fine. L on my part, I will wear it. It's totally okay. We can't always be 100% right in everything we say, but there's still a lot of other stuff going on with this game to talk about beyond Fred Warner.
Yeah. So other injury stuff. Fred Warner's been ruled out, by the way. He's all the way out. They're not making him questionable and doing the whole, well, we'll see how he feels on Saturday. Like, no, they've ruled him out.
Kyle Shanahan did say that he's confident Fred Warner would be able to play if the Niners win on Saturday. So Fred Warner would conceivably be available in the NFC Championship game if the 49ers win, which not a small development.
No, not even a little bit. Ricky Pearsall officially questionable. He sounds confident he's going to play, but we hear players say that all the time, and then they wind up not playing. It's going to totally depend on how his knee responds. I'm guessing he's a true game time decision, where he will get on the field and get a workout in before the game. D. Winters officially questionable. I'm interested on the D. Winters thing because I don't think there's any doubt that Ricky Pearsall helps the 49ers. Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
We talked about it after they scored 3 points against Seattle in Week 18, and I think we talked about it on the last podcast. Just all the different ways that Ricky Pearsall would help the 49ers offense. The D. Winters part of this, because he's been a defensive starter all year up until he hurt his ankle in Week 18. His replacement, Garrett Wallow, played really well against Philadelphia, namely not missing tackles, which is something that the 49ers had a problem with last time D. Winters was on the field. Is there a scenario where the Niners just kind of ride with the Garrett Wallow, Eric Kendricks tandem? Or if D. Winters is good, they go, nope, get back out there, you're the starter?
I would imagine that if D. Winters is close to 100% or if he's 90%, that it's probably still his job. If D. Winters is like 70%, then it's probably Garrett Wallow, would be my assumption. I don't think that. I think that Week 18 game, not like the 49ers defense is this awesome tackling team, but I don't expect them to miss 18 tackles on Saturday.
Yeah.
They are on a short week, but it's not their second straight short week like it was when they played Seattle last time.
Right.
So D. Winters role in that, I forget exactly how many missed tackles he had. I know it was probably more than a couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's probably D. Winters if he's healthy, but if he's not healthy enough, then there's no reason not to feel okay about Garrett Wallow given what you saw from him last week.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. You can't bench a guy off the strength of one game.
Yeah.
And I think there's other parts of it too. We didn't get to see Garrett Wallow in coverage very much against Philly. because Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense just don't attack the middle of the field in that way. I think Sam Darnold and the Seahawks and Clint Kubiak very much would. And that's where
sure.
Winter's athleticism matters a lot.
For sure. I do have a thought on Pearsall.
Please.
Because I heard him say earlier in the week he thought he would have to play a little bit differently with the knee and maybe not try to get as many yards after the catch and play with the same level of physicality. To me, that kind of sounds like a red flag from the standpoint of like Kyle Shanahan probably isn't pumped to hear that. And I can't imagine Kyle Shanahan being like, all right, we're going to play you even though you feel like you got to dial it back. Like Kyle Shanahan is going to, in my opinion, Kyle Shanahan would say something more like, well, if you're not 100%, then you're not going to play. Like, we're not going to have you like compensate and play your game differently because you have a knee injury. So my alarm bell rang a little bit when I heard Pearsall talk about that. And who knows, maybe he'll feel better on Saturday and he'll be good to go. But it's just something worth noting because it just doesn't sound like Kyle Shanahan is very much like you're going 100% or you're not going at all type of coach. So that's kind of how I view that.
I half agree. I think that if Pearsall's talking about running down the sideline, safety coming over, is it the difference between lowering your shoulder into the guy and stepping out of bounds? Then fine, step out of bounds. But if it means he's not going to be as effective going across the middle, which he's very, very good at, like, is he going to cut the same way? Is he going to put his body on the line the way he does? If he's not doing those things, then I'm right there with you. But if it's the difference between lowering his shoulder into a defensive back and not, all right, cool, make the catch and get your yards and fall down. That bothers me less. But if it's going to compromise the way he wins in the areas of the field that he wins in, then I don't know what the point is in playing him. So I'd be interested to know exactly what he meant by that.
Yeah, we'll probably get more clarity. Yeah, we'll probably get more clarity after the game at some point, depending on if he plays. But I don't know, man. It's an extremely difficult game with Ricky Pearsall. It's an extremely difficult game, obviously, without Ricky Pearsall. And I think they need him pretty badly just because of the matchup between their receivers as Kyle walks off the stage. The matchup between the 49ers receivers and the Seahawks defensive backs, I don't think favors the 49ers. I think the wins that they get are going to have to come schematically more so than just like, oh, these dudes are just dusting them in coverage.
I'm with you.
Right. Like it's going to be Kyle Shanahan figuring out route combinations and certain routes against certain looks to get these guys open more so than it's just going to be Demarcus Robinson and Juwan Jennings and Kendrick Bourne, just beating these guys in man-to-man coverage. Right. So that'll be worth noting for sure because Pearsall has more shake than any of these guys when he's healthy, particularly against man-to-man. But if he's compromised, that could be a different story.
The last note on the injury report here, Jair Brown officially ruled out, which, again, Marquise Siegel was very effective tackling in the open field against Philly, and it's something that he's been really good at since training camp and the preseason. I wonder if that's going to wind up being an improvement for San Francisco. If Marquise Siegel playing now, I mean, he hasn't played a ton. He's a rookie, struggled a little bit in coverage, which may be why he ended up being benched. But
I don't even think he struggled in coverage, honestly.
Yeah, it felt like one of those things where he was constantly there. He was just not winning the 50-50 ball. It was more of a 75-25 ball.
He was, to borrow a scouting term, he was getting beat at the catch point.
Oh, dude. So, dude, you're locked in for the draft. I love this. Hell yeah. Got strong hands through the catch point?
right. Needed more physicality at the
Yeah.
catch point.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, he was more often than not, he was in good position and he like had good coverage. It would just be the guy he was covering would make the catch. So yeah, I'm with you. Like I definitely think there's a chance that Siegel plays well enough to make you think, is this guy a better long-term option than Jair Brown? Like I think that's really on the table.
So I almost reset like this was a radio show. That was weird. That's Chris Biderman. I'm Kyle Madson. You're listening to Candlestick Chronicles here on the Blue Wire.
You do host a radio show.
I do. I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah, ESPN 1320 in Sacramento. Check us out. So we're on YouTube as well. So we do this bit actually on the radio. That's a good transition that I didn't plan. We do the 49ers confidence meter. And the running bit is that my coworker Kenny Caraway always gets to like an 8 or 9 or more by the time Friday rolls around. He will talk himself into it throughout the week. I don't. And so this week has been strange, and I'm interested to see where you land, because going into the Eagles game, I was at like a 3. Just, man, I don't know, the linebackers and the trenches just didn't. No, I was wrong. This week I opened up at 3.25. It was a little more confident than last week. It ticked up to 5 when all the Fred Warner stuff was happening. I'm going, man, you get the energy boost from Fred. You've got all the stuff with Seattle and on social media, and man, do they get complacent? And the 49ers, they got Trent Williams back. The 49ers really take week 18 personally and just come out with a different edge, and they get up a couple of touchdowns, and they turn Sam Darnold into the Sam Darnold we've seen in big spots. And do they win this game? Oh man, that's like a coin flip spot to me. And then I woke up today, can't tell you why. This is a vibes-based thing. 2. I'm at a 2. I do not feel good about Saturday evening.
So I don't feel great about it either. I think Seattle's defense is really, really good. I think obviously the Seahawks are more rested. They're a healthier roster. Everything on paper points to the Seahawks having a pretty clear and obvious advantage.
Yes, I agree. They're also 7-point favorites.
Right. And at the same time, I think there's a very reasonable formula for the 49ers to keep this game close. At which point, in the fourth quarter of a big playoff game, are you trusting Sam Darnold more or Brock Purdy more? Is kind of where that's the formula to me for a 49ers victory is keep the game close, stay within shouting distance, and see if Sam Darnold can overcome his demons and his history of coming up short in big games and being terrible in the very limited amount of playoff experience that he has. So I think it all starts. Oh, go ahead.
Can I flip that around real quick?
Sure.
I know that I don't know if you've heard this before, but it's a quarterback league. So I understand.
It's the most important. Some say it's the most important position in sports.
I understand that sentiment for sure, but I think if you flip it and view it from this angle, and say which defense do you trust more to get a stop, that advantage lies heavily with Seattle. Like that's where the Darnold Purdy thing, I get it. Like Purdy's calling card has been winning close playoff games, 5 playoff wins, 4 fourth quarter comebacks, or 4 game winning drives. Like he's just been money in those spots, and that matters. But I think it matters an outsized amount because of just how much stock we put into it when we discuss like quarterback rankings. Dak Prescott's awesome. Dak Prescott is so fucking good at football. But like, do you trust Dak Prescott in a playoff game? No. So he gets like knocked down because of it. So I think that we put outsized importance on that. I think the kind of zoomed out way to look at it is, do you trust Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense against Seattle's defense, or do you trust Sam Darnold and the Seahawks offense against the 49ers defense? And as effective as the 49ers defense was at points against Philly, I don't think Seattle is going to have the same shortcomings offensively that Philly did. And I think they'll be able to exploit San Francisco's defense in a different way where maybe Sam Darnold melts down against the Bears or the Rams. I just think the 49ers defense might be prohibitive from Sam Darnold becoming Sam Darnold.
Sure. And I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm just like, if you're outlining the path to a 49ers win, I think you're hoping you get Brock Purdy, like it comes down to a quarterback making a play. Right? Sure. Like I think if the 49ers do have an advantage in this game, it is at quarterback. And I think the 49ers, even as banged up as they are, with what Kyle Shanahan can do schematically and the mismatches that Christian McCaffrey can create, and just having Brock Purdy in a close game, in a 13-17 game in the fourth quarter, I think the 49ers, you can make an argument, have an advantage there, even despite Seattle's defense. Largely, too, because Seattle's offense is pretty one note. Like, if you slow down Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seattle's offense is very average to even below average. Like, and one thing I find interesting, the 49ers did not shadow JSN with Diamador Lenore, like, really at all. And none of JSN's catches came with Lenore in coverage in the Week 18 game. I wonder if Robert Saleh was just kind of keeping that in his back pocket, because it was a talking point, because, you know, Diamador Lenore said before that game, like, yeah, I want to shadow JSN, you know, and we saw Lenore do it a little bit in Philadelphia with A.J. Brown, and it worked. Does Robert Saleh say, all right, we're going to switch this up? We didn't do that in Week 18 because, you know, we wanted to keep it in our back pocket for the playoffs. So, yeah, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Like, the Seahawks are clear and obvious favorites. Like, it makes total sense to me. The Seahawks are 7-point favorites. The Niners, like, aren't nearly as good on paper. But if you're just looking at, like, the pathway to a win, it's looking at the advantage that the 49ers might have at quarterback and what they can at least do offensively. Versus, and I think it's kind of similar to last week in that Brock Purdy can be a little bit more dynamic, particularly from the pocket. I know Jalen Hurts can make plays with his legs, but just in terms of like operating an offense, Brock Purdy can operate an offense at a higher level than Jalen Hurts. And I think if you limit JSN and you take him away and sort of make the Seahawks play left-handed, you can do something. Like, you can have an advantage if you're the 49ers in a close game. So I acknowledge that the Seahawks, like, I'm with you from the confidence perspective. Like, to me, the Niners being plus 270 on the money line indicates they have like a 25% chance at winning. I'm in line with that. Like, I think that's true. I also think 7 points is kind of a lot given the amount of road playoff games the 49ers have won under Kyle Shanahan, and given the fact that this is Mike McDonald's first playoff game, and the fact that the 49ers have won their last 4 games in Seattle, albeit different circumstances, and going against Pete Carroll towards the end of his tenure is not the same as what Mike McDonald was this year. But yeah, like, I think there's a path. That's all. Am I expecting the 49ers to be there to take that path and win the game? I don't think so, but I think the path is absolutely there. And put it this way, if the Niners win 14-10, I'm not going to be like completely stunned that this team won a big playoff game as underdogs, because we've seen them do it before.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is going to be, and this isn't even, I know this sounds very obvious, but with this specific matchup and trying to get to the path that you're talking about, like how do we very specifically get the 49ers to that spot? They had on their first 2 drives against Seattle 0 first downs in Week 18. Their third drive, they had 1 first down. and they had 39 yards in their first 3 drives. They had 2 first downs on their next drive where they gained 30 yards, and that was it for the first half. They had 3 first downs in the first half. And that's just not, I don't think that they can get by that same way again. They don't have to rack up points, and I don't think they're going to. But I don't think they can live on, they didn't have more than 2 first downs on a drive until they had more than 30 yards on one series. And it was the one where Brock Purdy threw the interception off of Christian McCaffrey's hands down in the red zone. They have to sustain drives. Like I said, they don't even have to get points. But can you just sustain drives and keep the Seahawks offense, particularly your defense, off the field? Can you shorten the game in that way? Because I think if it's the same deal as last time where they're having to put their defense out there, 3 and out, 1 first down punt, get the defense back out there, I don't know that they can hold up again. So that's going to be a major, major factor. Like, can you shorten the game by just getting a few first downs, particularly early?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I look at the week 8.
I said that in a tone like I was going to keep talking, but I was done.
No, you're fine. I completely understand. I just don't like the week 18 game happened, and I know it was only 2 weeks ago. I don't necessarily think it's just going to be a repeat of that game.
I agree.
When division rivals play each other, like the games can look drastically different. Like the 49ers in week 1 went right down the field, 14 plays, and scored a touchdown on the opening drive of that game. Right. So like they got off to the bad start in week 18. They also got off to a good start in the week 1 game. Like I don't necessarily believe that sure, there are some trends and some indicators from week 18 that you can point to, but I just don't think it's going to be the same game. It rarely is when two teams play each other a lot, are very familiar with each other. So yeah, it might happen. There's a very reasonable chance that the Seahawks defense just completely throttles the 49ers. That's possible. I also think that Kyle Shanahan's going to do different things. I think that they might, like, if I'm the Niners, I'm seriously considering just like running tempo and maybe even not even like trying to run the ball in the first series and just do quick pass. And if you can sort of take the pass rush out of it, and if you can get points on the first possession and then start to put a little bit of pressure on the Seahawks in the way that they did when they scored first, when they scored when they played Philadelphia last week, and the way they did when they beat the Rams in week 17, or sorry, not week 17, in that Thursday night game back in October. Like I think week 5, there are ways that the 49ers can do things dramatically different than what they did. If it's, first possession, run the ball on first down, no yards or a TFL, the crowd's into it, 2nd and long, then you have a false start or like a hold, and then on 3rd, it's like 3rd and 15, and you just got to like run a screen or do a draw because you're not, you don't want to turn the ball over. Like that's the formula to lose, and that's kind of what happened in week 18. But if you can do something different and dictate things to the Seahawks defense in a way they couldn't in week 18, then that, the game would look dramatically different.
It felt like going into week 18, there was not like a dread, but it was, gosh, all these short weeks in a row. It's the short week last week. Now you got a short week this week. Like, oh my God. I feel like that's a galvanizing factor now. More than they're sitting there and going, God, Trent's out. Oh my God, no Pearsall. Oh my God, another short week. Oh, this is just terrible. Like, I wonder if it works in reverse this time, where it is what you're talking about. They do get out to a faster start, because it's just so rare that unless one team is awesome, unless it's the 2008 Patriots and whatever, the Dolphins, I don't know. I don't remember what happened in the 08 season exactly, but like a great team against a really bad team. Unless it's that, you pretty rarely see division opponents stuff their division opponent in a locker twice, especially 2 weeks apart.
Yeah. I would agree with that. And two, like the Niners had a short week against the Bears and the offense looked great. The defense wasn't awesome, but the Bears offense is great. Like they had a short week. That I think what really hurt the 49ers in week 18 was the fact it was their second short week in a row. And on top of not having Trent Williams. So you get Trent Williams back. You're on a short week, yes, but it's you had a normal week last week. So I think that'll be less of a factor. So I don't know. Like I just think it's just really hard for me to look at the Niners' history under Kyle Shanahan and all the road playoff games they've won, and even last week. And I know that they are severely undermanned from a talent perspective, but to just assume that Sam Darnold is going to win a home playoff game and to assume that, Mike Macdonald is, I think Mike Macdonald's awesome, but we don't know what Mike Macdonald looks like coaching in a playoff scenario. Like what's 4th and 3 on the Niners 44 and they only, and they only have a couple first down. Like, is Mike Macdonald going to go for it?
Sure.
Or is he going to punt? Right? Is it like, are the Seahawks going to get JSN going, or are the 49ers just going to bracket him with Yamador Lenore and a safety the whole game and make it really difficult to get him looks and then force, Cooper Kupp to beat you against Renardo Green? Like I wouldn't hate that matchup for the 49ers. Right. So like the Niners just have so many of these wins where, you go back to 2021, you go back to last week. It's like they have been underdogs before. And sometimes even beyond logic, beyond what should happen on paper, it's just like they just come away and play well and they just outcoach some of these teams. So that I can't rule any of that out. Gun to my head, I'd pick the Seahawks. It just purely because of that defense and because of how good that defensive line is. Yeah, sure. And even with Trent Williams back, Trent Williams allowed 6 pressures last week. And I think Eagles fans were correct in pointing out that last touchdown could have been a hold. Like we've seen worse holding calls than that would have been before. So yeah, but I just can't dismiss the 49ers chances at all in this game because we've seen them do it before. And also like, we don't really have any evidence that the Seahawks are trustworthy, particularly at quarterback. Their quarterback led the NFL in turnovers.
Yeah. I have another potential wrinkle we could see from the 49ers defense. But before we do that, let's talk about lamb chops. sglambchops.com is the website. Their winter 2026 line is out now. It includes what did we decide to call it? It's like a half zip, like the old starter jackets. It's kind of like that. It is extremely fire. It's got the black. It's got the gray. It's primary black. It's got the gray trim. It's got the cleaver zipper. It is absolute gas. I cannot wait to wear it. It's going to be amazing, and I think you'll love it too. And while you're there, search Candlestick. When you search Candlestick, you'll see our hoodie. You'll see our t-shirt, official Candlestick Chronicles merch from Lamb Chops. Did you have something to add, Chris?
No, I need the jacket. That's all. I already have the hoodie and the shirt. Maybe I'll get additional sets.
Yeah, why not?
So, when something's dirty, I can rock a fresh one.
Totally. So I would do the exact same thing. sglambchops.com is the website. Use promo code Candlestick20 when you check out for 20% off your order today. sglambchops.com. Lamb Chops, join the herd.
Candlestick Chronicles is also brought to you by Prize Picks. It's no longer the holiday season, but it still is the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball, matchups, playoffs. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is Prize Picks. So I think I might have laid this out in the last podcast, but just a refresher for those who are unaware of the lineup this week. I'm going Christian McCaffrey more than half of a rushing or receiving touchdown. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Same with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm going more than half of a rushing or receiving touchdown. Jake Tonjes, demon play, more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. Maybe Jake Tonjes gets like a little reverse on the goal line, like sets up for like a, like a quarterback sneak. Everyone plugs the middle of the play. Jake Tonjes comes screaming in, takes it out wide, gets a 1-yard score. You can have that, Kyle Shanahan. I know you're listening. Eddie Pinheiro, I'm going more than half of a field goal made. Same with Jason Myers. Although his number is 1.5 field goals made, I'm going more for him. And I'm going more than 41.5 receiving yards for Jawan Jennings. It is a 6-pick flex play, an insane multiplier. You love to see it. Can't wait to be victorious on Saturday and enjoy winning that one. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code Candlestick to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code Candlestick to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
I kind of wonder if we see Robert Saleh blitz Sam Darnold more often on Saturday. Not like every time he drops back, but the Niners, the underlying numbers from Pro Football Focus aren't like astounding. They blitzed 8 times in 30 dropbacks. He completed 4 of 7 throws for 67 yards, but his completion rates were 84.2% when they didn't blitz him. Like, if you're going to get a Sam Darnold mistake, I think it's going to be by generating that pressure, and you're just not going to get it with your front four. So I do wonder, because in big spots against Seattle in Week 18, we saw Robert Saleh call those blitzes. I wonder if we see it instead of just on third down, if we see it maybe on depending on the personnel, maybe on a first down to try and get him into second and long. That's a little bit of a wrinkle that I think Robert Saleh can and should throw on Saturday.
I'm very interested to see too, because I agree with you. I think Robert Saleh you can make a really good case that Robert Saleh is the most important figure going into this game. Because what the 49ers defense does against the Seattle offense will dictate a lot. Like, if the Niners just can't stop Seattle's offense, then it's going to be really, really difficult against Seattle's defense. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about Sam Darnold landing on the injury report with an oblique injury and missing practice on Thursday.
He was limited.
Well, he exited practice because of the injury to get treatment.
Maybe I'm just doing a bad job here, but that feels like a nothing burger to me.
Yeah, I mean, obliques, I don't know. As someone who strained an oblique before, I'm decidedly not an NFL quarterback. Can be painful. And when we're talking about blitzing Sam Darnold, like, is he going to have the same mobility? And is it going to impact, his ability to throw on the move? I think he's generally a good athlete, and he can throw off platform pretty well. Like, he has a lot of arm talent and can make plays outside of structure when he needs to sometimes. But does that get eliminated or hindered at least a little bit because he has an oblique injury? Like, to leave practice to get treatment, I don't know. Like, if it was a nothing burger to me, like, if it was nothing, he probably could have stuck it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, unless it's hey, I think I strained a little something here, or tweaked a little something. It's before the playoffs, it's Thursday. Let's just go get this treated so it's not a problem on Saturday.
Sure.
The way he talked, I know a player saying to media after a practice doesn't mean anything, but he said he's going to play. The Seahawks made him available for press. If he comes out and is 2 for his first 7, then it'll perk my ears up. But until then, I'm meh.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just of note when the starting quarterback lands on a team lands on a injury report before a playoff game and has to exit. It's just noteworthy.
I have because we were talking about the Niners defense and blitzing and forcing Sam Darnold into mistakes, and maybe he is a little banged up, and maybe the Niners pass rush just needs to be like a little bit where he gets off his spot and gets uncomfortable. Like that's certainly could be the case. I happened to come across the missed tackle numbers from Week 18. Tatum Bethune missed 5.
And he won't be playing.
41.7% missed tackle rate. Malik Mustafa missed 3. Jair Brown, who's out, missed 2. D. Winters, who's questionable, missed 2. Lenore missed 2. Collins, Stout, Gross Matos, and Huff each missed 1. I don't think you'll probably see Eric Hendricks missing 5 tackles.
Probably I don't think so either.
Probably see a little better performance from Malik Mustafa in this spot. So that's going to be the other thing is, can you, on a first down run, can you make a tackle that makes it 2nd and 8? Because it felt like Seattle was either running for a first down or getting into 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2 every time they had the ball in week 18. So that's just going to be, I think, a major factor because, again, when we talk about blitzing Sam Darnold and maybe he is a little banged up, can you just put them in consistent passing situations? And that's got to be that's his average depth of target was 5.3 yards against the 49ers.
Yeah.
I really think that it's sell out, stop the run, and bracket JSN. Like, that's what they did with Devontae Adams. Remember that in the 21 divisional game in Green Bay?
Mm-hmm.
It's just take Devontae Adams out and whoever else, go ahead. I wonder if they try a similar game plan here.
Yeah, and the Niners' run defense was good in the second half of the Eagles game. It was bad in the first half, but they figured it out in the second half and only allowed 45 yards after halftime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can you? I think you do. I think one of the lessons you have, and maybe it was just because Tatum Bethune was banged up, but one of the lessons might be that Eric Kendricks was just a better option than Tatum Bethune.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a shocker at all.
In
fact, I think it'd be surprising if it turned out Eric Kendricks wasn't a better option than a second-year 7th-round pick.
Yeah, for sure. At least in a playoff game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Niners defense, I think, can keep them in it. I mean, not to go all hardo football guy, but like if they can get a turnover or two from Sam Darnold, like that's...
Is that a key?
That's a key. Turnovers. Key to the game. But I mean, seriously, like, so part of the path too, and this is what kept Seattle in the Rams game after they were down by 14 points, or no, they were down by 16 points late against the Rams in that December
Thursday
game.
Night game. Yeah.
That Thursday night game. They get a punt return touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
They get the flukiest 2-point conversion maybe any of us have ever seen. Mm-hmm. And so, like, sometimes, I mean, if the Niners can get a special teams play, if the Niners can get, do they block a punt? Do they block a field goal? Do they get a fake something? Do they get a big kickoff return? We've joked a lot about special teams and Brant Boyer. Like, the Niners special teams have been good. And part of the formula, too, for them coming away with an upset is also, like, can you get a play like that? Can you just automatically get 3 points because Sky Moore returns it to the Seahawks 30 on a kickoff?
Sure, yeah.
Like that stuff could be massive too. Like if you're looking for the formula, it's just like trying to find those things on the margins because you might not be able to have 14 play drives against that Seahawks defense every series.
I'm not going to pick the 49ers to win, spoiler alert, but again, going back to last week, going back to everything this team has done this year, I don't know that there's a team I would trust and a coaching staff I would trust in this spot to go get a win more than the 49ers.
Yeah.
I mean, everything we're talking about is, and you said it, earlier, the Niners aren't going to have the dudes just to win. They're going to have to gain some sort of schematic advantage. And that's where, like, man, all right, if I need to have a schematic advantage, I don't know that there's 2 coaches in the league I'd want more than Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh.
And the schematic advantage might be Saleh versus Kubiak from that standpoint.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, how does Clint Kubiak adjust to seeing a team for the second time in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That'll be really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like history says what it says. Like every time the 49ers make the playoffs, they go to at least the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
They've never lost in the wild card round or the divisional round under Kyle Shanahan.
That's so nuts. If the 49ers win on Saturday, Kyle Shanahan will have the same number of playoff wins as Bill Walsh and George Seifert.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah. All right. You want to do predictions?
Yeah.
I fully know how much I'm pandering. You already said you're not picking the Niners. So
Seahawks 31-17. Come on.
31. Wow.
Yeah. I think it's going to look a lot like week 18, just with more offense.
Okay. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be something like 17-16. I'll take the Niners 17-16. Not because I'm super confident. The Seahawks are very clearly the better team right now.
No, you're trying to get subscribers.
They're the one
I respect
seed.
It.
I am trying to pander to the audience. This obviously is a 49ers podcast. No, but like
subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your pods.
It's just for me, I gotta see someone do it in the playoffs before I give them the equity to.
That's fair.
And to me, it's just I don't trust Sam Darnold not to throw 2 picks.
It's fair.
I don't trust Sam Darnold I don't trust Mike McDonald to make a scared decision on fourth down at the Niners 39-yard line in the fourth quarter of a game down by 4.
It's fair.
Like, so I don't fully trust the Seahawks offense to get JSN going when Robert Saleh is shadowing him with Diamador Lenore and the 49ers are basically doubling him every snap. I don't trust the Seahawks necessarily to do that. That's not to say they can't. The Seahawks are very deserved 1 seeds. I think they're deserved 7-point favorites. The Niners are clearly banged up, but I'm just gonna do it. It wouldn't be a Niners podcast if both of us are picking the Seahawks.
Great point. That's a good reason to do it.
So there is a path, however unlikely, but there is a path. And I'll say the 49ers take it. 17-16. A lot of field goals. Eddie Pinheiro. Podium game.
It would be unbelievable shit if this 49ers team is in the NFC title game with Fred Warner coming back. Nutty. Very briefly, let's say the 49ers win tomorrow. We're recording this Friday. Yeah, win tomorrow / tonight if you're listening to this on Saturday / yesterday if you're tapping back in on Sunday.
Which would be weird.
Yeah, just hey, maybe you want to see what we thought, and now that you know how the game went, I don't know. Who would you rather win on Sunday if you're the 49ers? Do you want to have the short trip to LA to face your division rival who won 12 games this year? Or do you want to go to Chicago, another road game in the cold against a red hot offense that you already beat once this year? Which way do you lean?
For the same reason why I don't necessarily trust the Seahawks, I don't trust Caleb Williams in an NFC Championship game.
That's fair.
Even though, and I should point this out, even though I think there would be a ton of 49ers fans at SoFi Stadium if the NFC Championship game was in LA.
Why?
So much so that if the Niners win on Saturday and then the Rams win, and I think it would be a major talking point throughout the week, that the Rams would send season ticket holders emails saying, hey, Rams fans, whatever you're called, please do not sell your tickets to 49ers fans on the secondary market in the same way that Seahawks fans or the Seahawks are emailing the 12s. Because, Kyle, so many 49ers fans go to SoFi Stadium, some people call it Levi's South.
What? So you're telling me that they would basically be playing a home game? Do
a
49ers
40
fans travel?
you would be stunned to learn that 49ers fans tend to travel really well.
Shout out to the people on Twitter who have reached out and participated in this bit. It's been really great.
I
know
it,
that's the bit. I know this. We're just because somebody did respond. They're like, "Did you actually not know that?" Like, it's been a talking point about the 49ers visits to LA for 7 years now. Like, we got it.
Yeah.
Niner fans
My favorite
pack
thing
the
is
place.
when Kyle Shanahan gets asked about it. Like, hey, what did you think of the Niners fans? Like, he said the same thing every time he gets asked about it. I love our fans. Our fans travel better than any other fan base in the
Such an
league.
advantage for the home team to have to go silent count.
It really helps our pass rush. Like, hey, you know what? This horse has been dead, guys. And that's not to take anything away from 49ers fans. 49ers fans, obviously great.
It's incredible.
I just don't know what the talking point is anymore.
I feel like it's reached the point now that going to SoFi is like a bit, and people just do it just to participate in this thing.
Right.
Which salute.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe Niners went to the Super Bowl because Rams had to go silent count. Sam Okuwanu screaming off the edge. You can't even hard count.
What was the biggest key to your guys' Super Bowl run?
Well, can't even hard count Keon White. You just letting him pin his ears back.
You're not chipping Keon White?
Hey, you know what's crazy? So I went to 49ers practice this week, and they like the Levi Stadium is basically like a construction project right now. Like there are all these tents being built in the parking lot for, you know, all the Super Bowl stuff, whatever, security, all these crazy things. I have no idea how they would have gotten Levi Stadium prepped for the Super Bowl if the 49ers had been hosting playoff games, if they were the 1 seed. Like they're doing so much stuff there that it seems inconceivable that they would have been able to like pack it all into 2 weeks if the 49ers had like hosted the NFC Championship game. I would love to know how that would have worked.
Did the 49ers throw the Week 18 game on purpose?
Many are saying. It's a conspiracy. Actually, that's a really smart point by you.
Thank you.
Pointing out the NFL did not want the 49ers to win Week 18. So maybe that changed. Maybe
Bobby Sauls said, hey, we're going to have Demo shadow Jackson Smith and Jigba. And Kyle said, not this week, pal.
Yeah. I was talking to Raj. Raj was like, hey.
Just got off the phone with Raj.
hey, Kai. We'd really appreciate if we had some time to set up the concert tents in the parking lot. So
I feel like Roger Goodell is the type of dude that Kyle Shanahan just fucking hates. Every interaction Kyle Shanahan has with Roger Goodell is too long.
I was listening to Peter Schrager talk on Bill Simmons' podcast today.
I'm sorry.
About how livid the 49ers were that they had a short week.
Now, I talked to some people in Santa Clara, and they are livid, Bill. You wouldn't believe it. They are so angry that they're playing on a short week, and I get it. I get why they're mad. It's their third short week in 4 weeks, but Bill, it just hasn't mattered to this team. Like, why are you whispering?
No,
Talk from your chest, dog.
In fairness, I think he has. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think he has young children. He has young children in his house, so he's not like screaming when he's doing a podcast. But he did point out. He said Kyle Shanahan was using it as like a rallying cry. Like the NFL wanted, and this is Schrager. I don't know if this is true or not, but I really enjoyed this. Schrager was saying that Kyle Shanahan was saying in his Crocs was saying, the NFL wanted the Rams and Bears in the primetime game. They wanted those two teams in the TV slot. They didn't want us. And they gave us the short week as, they're disrespecting us. And yeah, I mean, look,
professional coaches and athletes are insane. Just absolutely clinically nuts.
although like it is, the NFL definitely could have had Niners Seahawks on Sunday, but it is worth pointing out that when the Niners were the 1 seed in 2019 and 2023, they did host the Vikings and the Packers. Vikings and Packers. Those teams played the previous Sunday and traveled on short weeks to Santa Clara to play.
Right.
So it's, I'm sure those teams are
a conspiracy.
Those teams coaches were super pissed.
I think the other part of it is that the Niners played back-to-back short weeks to end the year, got a full week, and then immediately got another short week.
Right. Yeah.
If they lose, it's not going to be because of the day of the week they played on.
No.
I mean, that's just so.
No.
I love pro athletes and coaches just making shit up though. Anything to get that emotional edge.
Yeah. Which the 49ers should have. That's one thing we haven't talked about either. I think the fact that the 49ers did get stuffed in a locker, to use your vernacular, in week 18, I think that actually helps them.
I think so too. Potentially. Yeah,
just like the human nature element is the Seahawks could have a letdown because they're like, oh, we just beat these guys' ass 2 weeks ago.
Niners Seahawks, a trap game for Seattle?
Some are saying.
And looking ahead to the NFC title game?
Some are saying. Anyway, all right. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Candlestick Chronicles on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. We will have a show in reaction to this game. We will plan that offline. Decent chance it's going to be late at night on Saturday or maybe even early Sunday morning, depending on how much work you and I, Kyle, have to do for our respective news outlets following this game. And but yeah, keep it locked. We'll do a reaction show one way or another. And hit the notification bell, thumbs up, be part of the discourse, leave a comment. We really value discourse leadership in this space. So shout out to you if you leave a comment in our YouTube channel. So talk to you guys after the game. Enjoy.
Shout out our Roker.